Well,
I was in a horrible pit. Didn't know how I was going to come out.
I hear you, Jenkins. Here.
But I kept on trusting in God. Have I got a witness here? And not only do I see God answer, not only do I see God act, but down in verse 3, I see goodness acknowledged. The Bible said, and he had put a new song in my mouth, even praise unto our God. Many shall see it and fear and shall trust in the Lord. My brothers and my sisters, as I get ready to close this morning, David expresses his hope that because of his testimony of waiting on the Lord, others will also come to trust him. He filled him with joy as well as peace in believing. He has put a new song in my mouth. He has given me cause to rejoice and a heart to rejoice. He was brought, as it were, into a new world, and that filled his mouth with a new song. My brothers and my sisters, is there anybody here glad that God brought you out? Have I got a witness this morning? I'm closing now. You ought to grab a neighbor by the hand and say, neighbor, I've been in some rough times in my life. But one thing I can say this morning is that I survived it to tell somebody. I thought I was going to lose my mind, but I come to tell somebody that I survived it to tell it. I've been lied on, but I survived it to tell it. I've been talked about, but I survived it to tell it. I've been through the storm and the rain. I had heartaches and pain. But look at what the Lord done. He picked me up and turned me all around. He placed my feet on a solid ground. Is there anybody here can say, I'm glad that God brought me out? I didn't know how, I didn't know when, but one thing I know is that God did it for me. Say yes, He did it for me. Say yes, 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 He did it for me. Grab somebody by the hand and say, neighbor, I don't know what you're going through. Say, neighbor, I don't know what you're dealing with, but I come to tell you this morning that God, He brought me out. And when He brought me out, I came out with my hands up. I came out with a song in my mouth. And I come to tell you this morning, if God did it for me, surely He could do it for you. Say yes, say yes, yes. Ain't it all right? If you know it's all right, say yes, say yes, yes. I know it's all right. Pastor Jenkins, how you know it's all right? Because over 2,000 years ago, one Friday on the hill called Calvary, they marched him from judgment hall to judgment hall. But that's not how the story ends. He was crucified They put nails in his hand. They put rivets in his feet and a crown of thorns on his head. But tell somebody that's not how the story ends. He hung right there between two thieves. But tell somebody that's not how the story ends. They pierced him in the side. Blood and water came streaming down. They laid him in a borrowed tomb. But tell somebody that's not how the story ends. He laid right there all night, Friday night. Laid right there all day Saturday. Laid right there all night Saturday night. Tell somebody that's not how the story ends. Because early one Sunday morning he got up with all power in his hand. Is there anybody here? Is there anybody here? Is there anybody here glad that God got up with all power in his hand? Not black power, not solar power, not nuclear power, not water power, but grab your neighbor by the hand. Say, neighbor, he got up with all power. In his hand. And because he got up, I can walk in the midst of my enemies and I can shake their hand. Because God got up, I can face tomorrow. Because God got up, I can sleep well at night and don't have to worry about nobody. Are you glad that God got up? Not only did he get up, but he got up in me. That's why I lift my hands and say, God, I thank you. God, I praise you. God, I thank you. God, I praise you. I survived it to tell it that God got up with all power. I survived it to tell it. My brothers and sisters, whatever you face in your life, and I know, look around here this morning, that I'm not the only one that is a survivor. Have I got to witness somebody? Because if you wasn't a survivor, you wouldn't be here this morning giving God the praise. Somebody missed that. If you wasn't a survivor, you wouldn't be here telling God, I praise you. But I know I'm in this house with a group of people that know and can testify to Pastor Jenkins that I've been through hell and back. But one thing about it, I didn't stay in hell. God brought me out of hell.
Yes, sir.
And now I can say that I survived it. To tell it. May God bless you. May God keep you. Is our prayer. Real briefly, the doors of the church is now